Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
How many of you here are billionaires? Oh, billionaires. Okay, oh boy. Anybody? Millionaires. Millionaires? Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about her, the 1%. The rest of us are 99%, right? That's what that saying goes. We're trying to make things equal in America, whereby everybody has a share of the money. I had a wonderful opportunity yesterday. I was at the shareholder meeting of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. This chief executive makes $4 million a year. And they pulled a little trick with the state. They went down to the state and says, we're going to move out of Chicago unless you give us a tax break. And they got a tax break. And I was in Springfield for Lobby Day last week, and I asked one of the representatives about it. She said, oh, we were trying to give them a little something to keep them here. These people, CME, that's their acronym for Chicago Mercantile, they paid $8.4 billion for New York Mercantile Exchange in cash. Can you imagine how much that looks like in cash?
Wow.
And they had to use some stock. So we're dealing with a company that has a title on their stock holders meeting, moving ahead together. We don't think that's true. We don't think they're moving ahead together. They're not giving very much to the needy at all. And they're not paying their fair share. So the protest was about them not paying their fair share. Do you think we, excluding you, Miss 1%, do you think we as the 99% can have a voice and change in their minds?
Yes.
Let me tell you what happened at that meeting yesterday. It was so exciting. I was laughing so loud. One stockholder got up and he said, look, all of you all need to get out of here. You haven't raised me. You haven't gotten me any money for my stock. But he wasn't with our group. Our group was Stand Up Chicago. And so another person got up and told about situations and that they should improve things. Another group got up to speak about situations, about what happened to her family. And the veteran, he wouldn't let him speak because it's only on proposals that you can have a question on. You can ask the question later on. Some people he did listen to. So finally it was getting a little hot, so people were ignored. The guy with the microphone would not let you hold the microphone. He held it for you, and you spoke. Control, control. When I went to the washroom, someone came in later while I was in there. And when she came the second time, I said, you still watching me? Well, anyway, back to the story. I tend to have a habit of getting off the story. Well, Terry Duffy, the CEO of CM, was wearing a red tie yesterday and a red handkerchief in his jacket. And when we start protesting, let them speak, their stockholders let them speak. And then we made an announcement that there are some more protesters outside. And all of a sudden you could hear the protesters outside. We were going to join them later on, right? Terry turned as red as his tie and his handkerchief. And he remained red because I didn't leave out with the rest of them. I wanted to hear this. He later said, ignore those people outside and just listen to what's going on the inside. That man, a CEO making $4 million a year, did his presentation like, and this is what I do. Big screen over there. He didn't use the screen and gave his presentation. talking about how well the company was doing. The next board member got up and he spoke using the slide presentation. Well, I feel that we can make a difference if we let them know. I asked 5 questions on here. We will conduct 2 separate question and answer periods. I said, why is it you don't have but 1 female working for the company? Ladies, they have 1 female working there. I said, why don't you have any African Americans working here on the board of directors? Board of directors. The next page. Board of directors. I said, since you're doing so well, why don't you consider helping out the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois that has a budget deficit? Do you think my questions will be answered? I wrote them on these little cards. Well, after I left that protest, I went over to the auditorium theater because we got to work on this. They are messing over the teachers. Not only is it happening in Chicago, it's happening in other cities. There were so many people present at this rally. This book right here is the contract. And in this contract, for the agreement between the Chicago Teachers Union and the American Federation of Teachers, it doesn't expire until June 30th, 2012. In the new contract, the new mayor doesn't want to accept anything, and in this contract they were supposed to get a 4% increase, and he denied it. The new mayor wants to extend the class day without pay. Now, is that right? So I say to you, we must speak up each time we can, because your emails, your phone calls can make a difference, because we are the 99%. So how many people agree that we can do it? Oh, y'all hardball, huh? Okay, I gotta say something convincing to make you realize you must do it. When you think about people who come back from the service, years ago when they came back from the service, they didn't get debriefing. And we had a lot of mental clinics. The mental clinics are closed down now. And this would be great to have mental clinics available so that all the homeless people would have a place to go to and get counseling and get well. Because they're in the 99% too. So we must consider the whole community so that we can make a difference. Ms. Toastmaster.